All right.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Ghostbuster Talk Show. Today, we are joined by the Irregular Neil.
What's going on?
How you doing, Neil?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right.
All right.
Neil, you are quite the content creator. What made you want to start doing stuff like this?
Well, wow. So, I mean, look, I've always been a character since I've been a kid. Always used to love to do cosplay, whether it had been Ninja Turtles, He-Man.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Thundercats. The list can go on. Superman, but the number one jam was always who you gonna call, and it was Ghostbusters. Oh, you know it. You know it. So basically, it's funny when Kelsey and I met. Now that was about almost 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
She was around me. And she saw, I had my toy collection, but not what you see now. So everything that you see behind me, I'll turn the camera at one point, what's on those shelves was built within the 3 years of the YouTube channel. So that was the organic part of it. So that's why I always try to get people to go back and check that out.
Right.
To see it all grow simultaneously. Even my Ghostbuster collection. Like this suit that you see me have on, the Proton Pack. We'll get into all that, how it all happened. But the driving force for me was my girlfriend. She's like, you have to get on camera. You have to just get out there doing this. So, here we are now, about almost 4 years later, and it's fantastic. I just love it. I like to entertain.
You can still hear me okay, right?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
I just set up my microphone real quick.
No, I hear you. You're good. You are good.
Thank you. Go ahead and continue. What was you saying, though? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. So like I was saying, so she was my driving force. What you see now is where we're at right now. So, I mean, I'm an ever-evolving content creator. I'm still new at this, regardless of me being doing this for 4 years almost now. Still learning. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. We don't know what the hell we're doing. We just, she lets me fly. She reels me in, though. Because regardless of her being my editor, she never went to school for it. She figured out Power Director by herself. And then my ideas get a little outlandish sometimes. So that's why I wish I can connect. So I think this is awesome that I'm actually talking to another Ghostbuster from another state, of course. And, you're part of a group. Yeah. There's no groups by me here in Jersey, at least that I know of. And I'm a lot. So sometimes I'm like, maybe I have to start my own group and my own little charity, this and that, because
there you go.
I would love to, especially when, when I get my the HasLabs 2 in the box, I'm going to have the trap and the PKE meter and all that stuff coming. And oh my God, I'm going to be fully suited finally.
Yeah.
And what better way, I sent you that little birthday party thing that I did.
Oh yeah.
That was on a whim, dude. And that's when I did not have the HasLabs Spangler Proton Pack. I had the Spirit Halloween one that came out, not the full-size one, the one prior to that.
Oh, so, yeah, the 80%.
Yeah, the 80% one. And that's what I did the party with. And I remember telling Kelsey, I'm like, I need to have the replica. I feel so bad. But, when you're with the little kids and everything, they don't care. It's just engagement. But I did have the wand. And it was funny. I was letting all the kids use the wand and all that stuff. I was giving them lessons and how to use it. And I'm like, how the hell did this not break? They were running rampant with everything. But, yeah, man, I just get joy in entertaining others, making people smile. That larger than life thing, basically seeing a character. And I did do that for my little nephews. I dressed up as Spider-Man for one and Batman for another. They didn't know it was me, but when you see a kid light up, you're just like, and
exactly.
And Ghostbusters, like I said, anybody can be a Ghostbusters. I think that's like the beauty of Ghostbusters. Anybody can be a Ghostbuster. You don't have to be Captain Athletic. You don't have to be 6 foot tall, all this kind of stuff. You strap on the pack, you're going to bust some ghosts. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. It's kind of how it all started.
All right, there we go. We're back.
Little choppy right there. It's all good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, dude, I can go all over the place. So you got to keep me reeled in here because I can go into so many stories.
How did you become a Ghostbuster fan? Like, what made you start becoming a Ghostbuster fan?
Dude. All right. So, first of all, let me get the air off energy save because it's a little sweaty. And by the way, everybody, of course, got to be fully suited up, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Elbow pads on. So, hold on a second.
All right.
Hold on a second. Get that off energy save real quick. It gets a little hot up in the suit. Anybody saw Frozen Empire, they know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
During the summer, you're in this jumpsuit, you're sweating.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I was wondering how come that we never figured out how we could do it during the summer instead of wearing the jumpsuits yet. Like, I mean, but I kind of see why we have the jumpsuits because it's technically would keep us safe because we're long sleeves, long pants, and all that stuff. But
yeah, well, remember in the real Ghostbusters, their suits had a way of like absorbing ectoplasm and all that kind of stuff. The cartoon, the suits had purpose. I remember, like their new suits. But you were asking me how it all started. It started with the real Ghostbusters.
Really?
Yeah, man. When I was a kid, look, I'm 42 years old. Born in '82. The original movie came out in '84.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters, I believe, started in 1986. So
I believe so.
I was a big cartoon guy. Always been a big animation guy. So, you know, Saturday morning, all of a sudden that popped on, man. And I was just like freaking hooked.
Yeah.
Egon Spangler. This is the Spangler suit. I got a little badge right here.
Heck yeah.
Always was my favorite character. Always just connected with Egon. Just loved Egon.
That's my son's favorite one is Egon.
Oh, okay. I used to have I remember, dude, I used to have the fake glasses and it was like the rounded. I tried to find rounded sunglasses as a kid and I did, but they would flip up. So I'd wear them. And I actually had a jumpsuit as a kid.
Really?
And it said on the back of it, it said, "Back off, man. I'm a scientist." It was great. And that's where it all started. Then the toys, the toys came out. I was a big toy fan, of course, we'll talk about that later. And then all of a sudden my father allowed me to watch the movie. So once I was allowed to watch that movie and I was young, it was, it was just like, I guess you could say the aesthetics of it, the world of it. I love the uniform. I always was a man of uniform. I liked having a uniform on. The proton pack itself, dude. How could you not love the proton pack?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's the coolest freaking thing ever.
As soon as anybody's gonna know what that is, as soon as you see it, like, holy crap, that's Ghostbusters.
Yes, it's Ghostbusters stands out in my mind. And like I said, anybody could be a Ghostbuster.
Yep, anybody. Exactly.
Anybody. It's just great. But yeah, that's where it all started, man. The real Ghostbusters. And then it just trickled. It just kept going.
Yep. And you said that there is no group around you, correct?
No. I don't know of any groups. I'm also, I wouldn't say alpha at all, but I'm definitely such an individual, and I've got so much personality that comes out with me. I'm not always the easiest, I guess, to deal with. Maybe I might intimidate. I'm not sure, but I would love to hook up with a group, shoot a fan film. How much do you ever watch any of the fan films that are made?
Oh yeah, bro, I've been watching all kinds of them. Some
great.
of them are really, really good.
Oh my god, they're great. I saw one recently, and I was like, holy crap. And they kind of did like a real Ghostbusters thing. And I was like, wow.
We actually featured a couple of the fan films in our 40th anniversary shout out.
Oh, really?
That we did. We had the video is like 6 hours long.
That's awesome.
It's on Facebook. on
Okay.
Our owner of the Rural Ohio Ghostbusters page,
Oh, the Ohio.
Mike. Yeah,
Cool. I'll have to follow that. Check that
yeah.
out.
I'll send you a link to it so you can
Send me
watch
that.
it.
Because I enjoy all that. I love that people do that. And that's what I try to do too. I just do it in a different way. I do it on green screen because Kelsey is not always like, yeah, we're not going outside to do that. But if I found a group.
Yeah.
Plus, you need professional, like real cameras to get all that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a certain style camera, but it's not at that realm.
Yeah, I actually just found somebody to do some recording for me for the 6th when we go open up our headquarters.
Oh, is that you were talking about? Like you have a location now, right?
Yep. So one of our Ghostbusters, he owns a store at the Fairfield Commons Mall down here by where we live, called Game Over. Well, he's opening up another store in Florence, Kentucky, and it's 2 times the size. And we're doing part of it his store and part of it the headquarters for the Cincinnati Ghostbusters.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then we're going to be doing birthday parties and all kinds of stuff in there.
That's cool. And that would be, if I could suit up every day, I'd have no problem. She comes home sometimes and she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing now?" I'll have the proton pack on, the suit on. I'm just like coming up with ideas. You have to gotta get your inspiration.
I feel the same way. I'll be out here doing TikToks or something, and my wife will come out on break because she works from home.
Okay.
And she'll see me in my Ghostbuster suit and just look at me like, "You're a weirdo."
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Definitely.
Like, I'm just making content.
Yeah, I'm making content. I mean, like, what do you want me to do? She's like, "Why is the and I'll stack the tables like the books." In the library. That's how I do like the certain style content facing that way. And she's like, "What the hell?" I'm like, and then I have her switch me on.
You got this.
Yeah, you got it.
That's when you look at her like, we came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Oh, without a doubt.
So which movie is your favorite? Do you have a favorite one?
So I'll give you the order. Absolute favorite is the first, obviously.
Exactly.
Then I will go Afterlife. And then after Afterlife, I go Ghostbusters 2. And now that we have Frozen Empire, that ranks in at the last spot for me. But Ghostbusters 2 always will hold like this special part in my heart, my head, because that was the first one I got to see on the big screen.
Oh, really?
That came out in 1989, so I was old enough. And I remember getting so excited to go see that. We went to the mall, and this is back in the day, like when malls had like small movie theaters inside of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember just getting so excited that I was like, I got so excited I actually, had to go to the bathroom because I was just like, "Oh my God, we're going to see Ghostbusters, this, that, the other." And I remember even as a kid though, like seeing that, and I'm like, did I like that as much as the first one? And I'm like, I don't think so, but don't get it twisted, man. I played the crap out of that when it came out on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like to watch the story unfold. So I like to watch things in succession. So I would put on the first one, then I'd put on the second one, and then the first one, the second one. And then we didn't have anything for the longest of times. So, like irregardless of the mix of what we just recently got, I was through the moon when we got Afterlife, because I felt that Afterlife really paid homage to where we left off. It was just like, so that's why I can't even tell you how many times I've seen Afterlife. I've lost count. Literally have lost count. But my absolute fave was the first one, as I was going off on a tangent there. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, my rating, I love them all, but I do not like that 2016.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even mention that. We all hung that call up.
Mm-hmm.
Answer the call. No. Hang it up. Sorry. Not digging it.
I mean, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been a good movie if it was their own franchise like Afterlife. If they would have done what they did with Afterlife in the 2016, it would have been perfectly fine. But no, they killed Bill Murray in it and everything. So no.
They bastardized everything.
Mm-hmm.
They tried. It was like they were trying to be original, but they weren't original. It was almost like, nah, we don't need to do that. We're just we'll put you guys in it. It was basically the director. That's all that comes down to.
Yep.
All that comes down to.
You gotta keep it with the Reitmans.
Oh yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I am so happy that Jason Reitman took over after his dad. So happy.
Oh yeah. Oh, you drinking out of a Ghostbuster cup right there?
Oh yeah, it's the icy cup from the movie theater from Frozen Empire.
Nice.
Yep, drinking some tea. And you have the Proton pack. You have the Hasbro one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I bet you that thing's nice, ain't it?
Dude, it is a nice pack. You know, the one, and it was funny. I remember I did a review on that. Like I always have those things on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when it first came out, and I had the Spirit one next to that. And look, comparing both, right? The fact that kids get that Spirit Halloween pack, you know how I would die for that as a kid compared to what the hell we had?
Yeah.
Like that little blue thing with the little foam freaking thing that would come out. You just press the button, and it still was fun. We had traps and goggles and all that. And when I saw that, I'm like, man, kids are spoiled. But damn, they just didn't like Ghostbusters wasn't being, I would say, merchandise at the time when the first one came out. Now the merchandising is totally different.
Oh well, it's because they didn't know that Ghostbusters was gonna blow up as big as it did. No. They would have, when they made that movie, that even Dan Aykroyd was like, I would have never guessed when I wrote this movie that it was going to be as huge as it is today.
It was his passion, I feel. The fact that he has real love for the paranormal. That's like that's actually like lineage from his family. Like they were paranormal investigators and all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. And you can actually see that in his acting throughout the movies. You can tell he has a real love for Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
It actually ties into my content as well because I actually do paranormal investigating and stuff.
Oh, you do? For real?
Yep.
Oh wow, freaky.
It's pretty fun. I love doing it.
Oh yeah, it's got to be fun, but freaky.
Yeah, it can. I haven't really done like big locations like we want to. I have a couple on my channel that we've done. But I want to do like the Conjuring House and the Stanley Hotel and stuff like that.
You have all that by you?
Huh?
Is that all by you or something? Or is that something
no. The Conjuring House is in, I want to say, the Conjuring House is in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. So now, question: would you suit up in your Ghostbusters outfit?
I want to.
You should.
But the wife says that I can wear like my merch or something when we do investigations.
Okay.
Because you don't want me walking around as a Ghostbuster, especially with all the Ghostbuster equipment on and trying to use the real equipment.
Yeah, the EMFs and everything.
Yeah.
I was a big Supernatural fan, so.
Yeah, I love Supernatural.
Oh, yeah. And they used to love that. They used to do Ghostbuster spoofs in their show, too.
Yeah, see, I wanted to get the Hasbro Proton pack, which I'm still trying to find to see if anybody has it.
They do.
And then I was supposed to get the 2 in the box, PKE and Ghost Trap, because I had the money at the time when I ordered it, but they didn't take the money out right away. Instead, they took it out a month and a half later on December. I think it was December 3rd, something like that.
It was like until the project was done, then they were going to charge through.
Yep. And at that time, I didn't have the money.
Right.
So I missed out on it, even though I had the money for it and I tried to order it. So now I'm trying to find somebody that has that because the PKE actually has a real working EMF in it.
What? I didn't even know that. Oh God.
Yeah.
Excited.
The PKE has a real working EMF in it. So it actually picks up actual spirit entities. Me getting my hands on something like that and being able to actually really use it for paranormal investigating. Man.
That would be gold for you. Gold.
Yes, exactly.
That would be, man. I mean, yo, when the proton pack came, I remember Kelsey left and we were getting Pizza Hut. She went to go pick up Pizza Hut. We were having a Pizza Hut craving. I'm like, yeah, go get it. She left, but I was like, and that was going on right there. And she came back home, and I can't lie. She looks at me. She's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "Nothing." I'm like, "I just bought the wand and the HasLabs pack." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "You know I did." And then once the 2 in the box came, I'm like, I got right on that too. None of that crap is cheap. It's very unfortunate how expensive it is.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, right, compared to, like, I like following all the people that do mods. You know, they do all their Tom Pack modifications, and I was actually going to say something about that. But one thing I didn't like was when all the mods were like seeing the proton pack that came out, dude. I couldn't tell you how over the moon I was when I saw the box and I opened it, and I was just like in freaking awe that I actually had an actual life-size proton pack. But I saw a lot of them coming out like nitpicking it, hitting it with this, that, the other. And I remember even saying in a video, I'm like, why does everybody have to act like that? Dude, the fact that a studio actually said, you know what? Let's do a fan-funded proton pack and actually make this for retail purposes where you can actually buy it like that. Because not everybody can do modifications. Not everybody can build them. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like any genre or like fandom. You're always going to have those groups that think they're better than stuff that comes out, or that what they do is great, this, that, the other, instead of just having enjoyment and appreciating what actually came. Something like this would have never came back in the day, man. Never. The fact that we can get something like that is amazing, because if you try to buy one from a person from a mod that makes them, it's like $3-4 grand.
Exactly.
No.
I have the Spirit Halloween full size.
You have the life size one, and that thing is awesome. And I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And
I do have one mod that I'm going to go ahead and do to this.
You have to do some mods.
I bought this thingy here.
Is that like a? Oh, that's cool.
And I'm gonna put it right here.
Where'd you get that, dude?
Off Amazon.
I'll
put it right there.
Oh, is it? What is it, like magnetic, or you can just use like a command strip kind of thing?
So it has a magnet on it, and then it also has a safety pin that you can put it on your shirt.
Dude.
But I'm going to figure out a way to mount it right there.
That's gonna be sick. That'll look so awesome. That'll look awesome. Do you have a Alice frame on it?
I do not.
Yes, the Alice frame I do have here. I'll go grab mine real fast. So here we go. And this thing's like about 20 pounds. So it's not exactly like the lightest thing in the world. But compared to the 40 freaking pound ones that you do have. So of course I have the Alice frame. I put a foam pad on it. And then I actually did do some modifications, I did like some painting and all that, but it just to hold it and have it, dude, it's amazing.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like every time I strap up, I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. You literally feel it. It doesn't matter. You put on a proton pack, you feel awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Exactly. I'm like, nobody understands what it's like until you put the pack on.
Yeah.
You'll be like, Oh, okay. Now I know what you're saying. So,
Go sit down, please.
oh, the little guy.
What kind of mods have you done to it? Just like
So basically, what I've done, it's kind of hard to see. I've put like electrical tape in a lot of spots to give it like that look. I did put like silver painting around certain things. I painted like certain spots that were like from Afterlife. Like, for instance, in Afterlife, you have this spot. You see where it says the right there. I don't want to drop it, but right here I painted that silver. In Afterlife, it is silver. I painted this up silver.
Nice.
I put certain, like the things that I can do. I do a lot of stuff in here, but I don't have a per se garage or anything where I can do any kind of welding or anything like that. I don't know the first thing about that. I'd probably set the freaking place on fire. So I try to do like little aesthetics. I try to do like cosmetic stuff that dresses it up. One way to do that is using electrical tape, because you can make it give that real look. But like, I'm not a modder when it comes to that. I like setting up displays, stuff like this. I'm good at all that.
Yeah, I'm wanting to learn how to do it for myself, because I want to add the Franken Geek mod kit in there, which sounds like it's an actual proton pack. It changes you have to put a new light strip on the blue part where it actually does the Tetris thing like it's supposed to. Okay. The light can actually go slower or faster on there. And you can also put in using his motherboard piece that he has, or chip, whatever. He has it to where you can actually connect a smoker to it, so the proton pack will smoke.
Oh yeah.
And then he also has a spot on there for when he does the wand, when he does the switches and stuff on there.
Yeah.
When he does come out with that part for the full size, you'll be able to put it right. You'll just be able to put them right in and then connect it and be done.
See, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's why, like, I appreciate the people that can do it. It's just, like, I watch all those guys. I'm always like in awe. I'm like, how the hell do you do that? But
when I do mine, though, I'm going to do multiple videos on how I'm doing the process.
Yeah, good idea.
That way, if anybody that does want to learn how to do it, they'll be able to watch back and see what my mistakes are that I make during this process and how I fix those mistakes and actually getting the pack to where I want it to be and all that stuff. So,
and then these packs have the 84 setting on it and the Afterlife, so you can change it to how you want to do it. There has been like little issues though here and there. Like sometimes where it malfunctions, and then I had to put a piece of electrical tape in where a connector is, and then that actually solved it. But that's like from finding people that, do it themselves, and they figure all that stuff out, because these are toys at the end of the day, so that's why I'm always like, thank you so much for the people that actually do this. But of course, you just always have those factions that are just not nice.
Exactly.
It's just the way that goes.
Have you ever thought about building your own Ecto?
If I knew how to actually work on a car like that, yeah. I mean, I'm the guy that I'll just go. I'll go buy it. If I can go buy it, I'd go buy it. You know what I mean?
There's always Ectos that people are selling on.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't marketplace. There's auctions for them all the time.
Dude, I'd drive that to work. I'd be like,
oh yeah. I'm actually wanting to build my own, and it's going to be called the Ecto 937.
Why 937? Is that
because that's my area code?
Okay. I thought so.
And that's what my because I'm the Ghostbuster Dad, but if you look at my @ sign on my YouTube, it's Ghostbuster Dad 937.
Oh, okay. So you got a little hidden stuff here. See, that's cool. But that'll benefit you because you have like you told me about the charities, you're with the group, this and that. That only makes sense. See, I'm just an individual. So that's why I stick to my little world inside of my apartment right here. And I keep doing what I'm doing. And then, you never know. Eventually I could stumble upon, or the more stuff that gets out there, maybe someone around will be like, yo, buddy, you want to meet up? I'll be like, let's go. What do you want to do?
Right.
I have no problem. I'm an outgoing man. So, like, let's go. Anybody want to have fun freaking playing Ghostbusters? Yeah. I used to play imaginary Ghostbusters all the time. I still do as an adult.
Right. I've had people call me nerd and all kinds of stuff, man. But like in the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, I am a nerd. You know why I'm a nerd? Because I do what I love, and I do it because I put smiles on people's faces,
and it makes you smile,
and it makes me happy. Yep.
It gives you purpose. I get it, man. It's about life's about purpose, right? You want to have a purpose. But it doesn't have to be this extraordinary thing that you do. It's just something that makes you happy.
Yep,
and if
exactly.
Ghostbusters makes you happy, then you got to freaking do Ghostbusters. That's just the way it is. I always tell people, embrace your weird. Just make sure your weird isn't harmful.
Ghostbusters is what helped me find my niche for my content. Because before I became the Ghostbuster dad, my YouTube stuff was the N Money Show.
I do remember.
Yep. And what started that was a bunch of kids at when I was in high school gave me that name, the N Money, and I stuck with it for so many years. And I ended up coming up with my YouTube channel. I think it was 2012 or 2013, and I made it the N Money Show. I sat at, I want to say like 480, maybe 500 for like years. And then as soon as I started actually looking into this, I was like, all right, what can I do to actually push myself out there a little bit more and be able to make better content? So I actually started going through like my followers on TikTok. I started looking at my following on YouTube, and I realized that the majority of my fans are Ghostbuster fans.
Yep.
Because I started doing the Ghostbuster cosplay and stuff. So I decided to make this choice, the Ghostbuster dad, because that was the first thing that me and my son ever bonded on. Because when I first met him, he's not biologically mine, but he still is my son.
I understand. Yeah.
And I tried so hard with different things to try to bond with him over some stuff, and I introduced him to Ghostbusters, and that's what bonded me and him together, was Ghostbusters. So when I made that move, I was like, you know what? I think I have the perfect solution. I'm going to start going by the Ghostbuster dad. And it was all dedicated to him. And that's when I became the Ghostbuster dad. And every single week, I've noticed that at least 15 people on YouTube, like at least 15 people on TikTok every single week, just adding up.
Coming in.
Yep.
It's all about consistency with everything. Like as soon as you start becoming consistent, which you're doing, that's why it's growing. And people are always going to be able to see through if you're I guess, trying to follow trends or this, that, the other. Too many people do that. When you individualize yourself and you set yourself apart from everybody else, people notice. And people can notice pure joy. People can notice when people are being phony or, being shills and all that kind of crap. Or, maybe you can also say, like, when I've seen certain Ghostbuster people that you could tell they're just trying to do it just to be popular, not because they're actual real Ghostbuster fans. I always feel that, like, you saw my Frozen Empire spoiler review. I wasn't the biggest fan. I don't care. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to tell people not to go see it, but I'm going to give you my real opinion. I think it's important for people to always have a real opinion from somebody, not like a pay-off opinion or, just go watch it because it's this and that. No. Don't tell it. Don't be like that. And you can always see when someone has a narrative for that's why I don't like joining groups too much, because you have to sometimes become a part of their narrative instead of actually having your voice. And I'm sure you've come across that. I've come across that throughout YouTube for a long time. I was a part of, not a part, but I was in some of those like culty groups where if you had a real opinion, they just kind of shoot it off. You can spit out as much knowledge as you want, and they'll be like, yeah, okay. So going on with this, and it would end up like that. And I'm like, And Kelsey would watch me from the outside, and she's like, you need to stop going over to that. You need to stop talking about this. And that's why when you told me that, your wife would tell you like, yeah, you should go toward this and this. And you're like, yeah, all right, cool, man. I get it. I get where you're coming from with all this. It's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy being out here on the internet.
It's not. It is definitely not easy being a content creator.
No, man, you can get lost in it. You can get lost worrying about likes and followers and this and that, instead of actually just doing what makes you happy, which is what we're trying to generalize and talk about. We're rounding it back just to, happy is an emotion, right? Well, it's also a way of life too. You want to go through life feeling satisfied and fulfilled with your days, not sitting there like that and hoping somebody likes your video or this and that. Nah, man, you throw it out there. You're happy with what you did and see what happens.
Exactly. I agree. Hell, man, like I've noticed that a lot of my TikToks that I post on my YouTube channel get like 16.1 views and like and all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, that's blowing up more than my other videos. And then you're just like, all right, well, just gonna keep pushing it out there and see what happens.
And I will say to you too, if you have old content, don't be afraid to promote your old content too. Because meaning like your older Ghostbuster stuff that you've done, re-throw that out there, because you don't know who didn't see it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's the best way, because sometimes you can also get lost, my man, in trying to create too much content at once instead of like focusing, because sometimes you have some hidden gems in there, man.
Yeah.
So like what you're doing right now on YouTube, what you did on TikTok, and I see that you put your TikTok on there on YouTube because people haven't seen that yet, so it works, and that's what you have to do. And it's very easy, like I said, to get lost in all this and thinking that you have to one up this video or one up that video or one up this person. No, don't do that ever. Don't ever do that. Don't try to compete with anybody else. You just always have to do you. Always.
Exactly. I agree. And you're not just a Ghostbuster. You're multiple things. Green Arrow, Batman, Superman, Flash.
Yeah.
You cosplay as a lot of different things.
Yes. I wish I could have a party business, my man. Like a superhero, like dress up party business where that would actually go. I know I could pick certain characters because I'm not Superman 6'4". I'm not Captain Muscles, so I can't do all that. But I can get into character. Like I know I can pull out Spider-Man, a Green Lantern, I could do Green Arrow. But some of these characters are a little obscure, like Green Arrow. But I just have a love for it. So that's why I always say, like, if you do things on here and you're showing your actual emotion, you can see pure joy, people will gravitate regardless. They're going to gravitate regardless. And that's why I use my name, the Irregular Neil, because, and my tagline is, come take a ride on the irregular side all the time, because why wouldn't you want to? And that's the tagline that I always have used. And it seems to have worked, because I try to tell everybody, I'm like, look, you're always going to see a lot of this. You're always going to see a lot of Ghostbuster stuff, but you're going to see smidgets of other things, because I want to talk to you. And I like talking about life also. I like talking to people, like, let's get down. How was your day? What did you do? Like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I go all over the place, but I try to keep it where people understand what I'm trying to do, that it's in the entertainment realm.
See, that's where I was with the End Money Show. I was all over the place. I was doing reviews, reactions, comedy, cosplay, paranormal investigating, gaming. But when I switched over to the Ghostbuster Dad, I felt like some of that stuff I could tie in with the Ghostbuster Dad.
Exactly.
But
There you go.
like the food reviews that I want to do, I feel like it really don't tie in with Ghostbusters now.
No, unless it's Ghostbuster oriented.
Yeah.
You know, no,
Like,
you're right.
but I was thinking about maybe like doing I was thinking about maybe doing a blog on my YouTube.
Okay.
Like having a blog thing where I'm like, because eventually I want to start traveling and going to like Comic Cons and stuff, and like showing people behind the scenes of like me stopping and grabbing something to eat and like doing a review on that food and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So I mean, like behind the scenes stuff of me doing the whole Ghostbuster stuff. So I thought maybe I could do something like that with it instead of just like, oh, hey, I got the Satan's toe. I'm going to do a review on that.
Oh, God, that thing.
And then we only take like a couple licks off of it and be like done with it because it's fuck it. Have you tried that thing?
No, I've seen people do that stuff. I can't. If I sweat on freaking Frank's Red Hot mild.
Dude, so it's not even hot. It's fucking disgusting. It tastes like somebody took chili powder and just poured it into like a mixer and made Satan's toe, dude. It was disgusting.
Couldn't do that stuff.
And then I ended up posting it, and it only got like 2-3 views because it was only like a 2-minute video. Yeah, I was like, all right, I can't do this.
You never know. See, that's you're trying it out. You're not afraid to try different things out. So that's a good thing. I'm not afraid to try different things out. But what you always want to do, and that like what we're talking about, is you want to know your special niches, right? And then you want to sprinkle in the other things. You let people know that you're a jack of all trades. But the one thing that I always say about when we do this stuff, content creating and being out here in the general public for the world to see, is you want to be the driving force, your personality, who you are, and then everything else starts to come in. So your personality oozes out with your Ghostbuster stuff. But like I said to you before, I can tell you can talk about all different things. Yeah. And that's key. So that's why you're able to do this kind of interview thing. I've never done any kind of interviews or had people on and all that kind of stuff. I watched your other ones already. That's great that you do all this. I think this is awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, of course. So, that's what's going to set you apart from a lot of other Ghostbusters. Okay. Yeah. You're already setting yourself apart. Just as I set myself apart, because I do my thing. But I don't try to ever copycat anybody because, you can always tell the people that try to do that. And that's why I'm always trying to say, like, it's very few people, far and few in between. And a lot of people that do this stuff, but not everybody can stand out. That's the reality of it. And it's unfortunate, but that's why I always say when people do these things, know what you're doing. Know you're putting yourself out there, and you might get kickback that you don't like, but don't let it bother you. Not easy. Exactly. Not easy, okay, but you got to try your best.
Yep.
So, I think I like what you do. I think you're on your way, to be honest.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
You're on your way.
You do other stuff like toy shows and stuff as well.
Yeah.
What's that like?
How'd dude, that came. I'll give you a few other ones too that we're bringing back, but the toy show. So the toy show came about because all of a sudden I just started buying a lot of stuff. Like I started collecting a lot of the Ghostbuster stuff. I've shown those sections off before. Big superhero fan. And Kelsey came on a few toy hunts with me. Now, like I was ahead of myself with my channel. I had high score game night. I would dress up as characters and I would play myself, but I'd be a different character and we'd cut scenes. There's only one of those that are around right now. I would do skits with myself, like acting as different people. We did My Feels in Love, I call it. And that's just a love for any franchise. It could have been Friends, The Office, Superstore, Ghostbusters, Bob's Burgers. So we're actually going back to that. Now we're trying to figure out how we're going to do it. I tried it on a live. I've done it pre-recorded. But we did so much of this stuff, dude, early on in the first 2 years. And it was like, woo! woo! So that's kind of where I went off the rails. So like the Irregular Toy Show, I'm in season 3. We put it on hiatus for a while because you can only spend so much freaking money, dude. When
Right,
you look
right.
at this place, I mean, you see pops galore down there, over here, across the wall. Those shelves are filled. Oh, someone brought the dog, about to jump out. Woo! Then you got this over here. I mean, yo,
Very colorful.
yeah, I love colors. I love lights, bro. Love lights. So with the Irregular Toy Show, I looked at her. I'm like, you know what? We should just make this a show. And I'm like, we'll make it, just where I'm talking, showing it off, and it evolved. It's actually better now. She even came out with an intro in season 2. And I was like, oh my God, it looks like a 90s sitcom intro. I love it. This and that. So you're watching a special season right now, season 3.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna have the episode 4 is gonna be Hot Wheels oriented, and then I'll see where I go from there.
Okay.
But the ones that exist, there's about like 30 plus between seasons 1 and 2. And then I was doing updated room tours. I'm bringing that back, because I have a window that lights up from the outside. That actually exists on TikTok. It's a room tour, just showing stuff off, just the insanity. I just like letting people know what I'm about, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to just show my craziness. I guess you could
Yeah.
say it's the best
I
way.
feel it. I feel that.
I have no problem with that. I enjoy that. I love doing lives. Now that I can go live on TikTok, the insanity really comes out.
Oh yeah. And you were really pushing it there for a while, trying to get up there on TikTok.
Yeah, I was trying, man.
I was helping, trying to promote your videos and stuff like that. I was sharing them and all kinds of stuff, trying to help you get up there so you could do the lives. I was ready for it.
And that's awesome. And I appreciate that. And that's why I'm always like, I try never to count on anybody to do that either. Like, like everybody will be like, oh, just share this and that. I'm like, I feel weird. I don't know anybody. And it's kind of, I'm like, am I being obnoxious if I share this? Because I'd want them to share their stuff too, because that's not fair. Like, who am I to be sending people my crap? You know what I'm saying? And it has to happen organically. I'm always like, Kelsey hates when I use that word organic. I'm like, but organic growth is the way. I use to promote stuff at times because I think certain videos need a push, because not everybody's going to watch your stuff. And I don't know how to tag. And that's the other thing. So like, we're talking about all this, right? You know how expensive it is to do all this stuff? It's expensive. It's not easy. StreamYard, paying for stream. I pay for StreamYard. That's why I'm like, now that we're connecting, I'm like, I could have all you guys. We can even set it up one day where I want to have you on, try to have Austin on, because I know you and Austin like talk.
Yeah.
And a few others if we want it, because I don't know everybody out there. And I would send them a link and we can actually talk live, because I do pay for that crap live, and we can just do a Ghostbuster live.
Yeah, I use the free version of StreamYard. And then what I do with the logo up there on that side, I put my logo over top of it and stuff.
Yeah, definitely, man. I would love to have you guys on for a live, but I want to set that up, and we would just talk and rap about stuff, or even on TikTok where we can actually put the movie on in the background and not get in trouble.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I've done that once. I actually ended up getting in trouble with TikTok because I was live.
Yeah.
And I was playing Frozen Empire.
Uh-huh.
And I fell asleep in my chair.
Oh, crap.
And when I woke up, because Austin was on my live, he kept calling me. He's like, dude, you fell asleep. I'm like, oh, shit. So I ended the live and realized that I had a community violation for showing movies on live. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, it's almost like, see, like how I did it last time. I stand in front of it and it's still reversed, and I'm not trying to be like letting like the movie something.
That's how I was doing it though, but apparently when I fell asleep, I went back in my chair and was just snoring away, and the movie was just right there in front of the screen.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah,
but yeah, dude. I mean, that's why like it's. I mean, we can even talk about I would love to talk about the movies and all that.
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to start one. I was thinking about trying to get a couple people together because I want to do a podcast on Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, Afterlife, and Frozen Empire.
Let's go. That's kind of like what I'm doing with you saw what I'm doing with I've got 3 parts out there, Ghostbusting in the Ghostbusters universe. I did the first 2 movies, and I did the next 2, and then I was doing another part where we're just going over like some of the meat and potatoes between each movie.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to? There's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about, and just that's the part of content creating that I'm talking about. See, you're coming up with a different style of content. You have to just constantly come up with things because there really is a lot to talk about, especially hearing everybody's different opinions on what they love and what made it stand out for them, which is what you're here.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody has different stories, man. So it's always a good thing to always ask what made you become a Ghostbuster fan and stuff like that. Because I mean, dude, some of the stories are incredible.
Oh, I cannot imagine.
I don't know if you watched my podcast with Joe Sorello.
Not fully. That's the cop, right? The lieutenant.
Yep. The cop captain.
How'd you do that?
Oh man. Oh, I have him on Facebook.
Did you just like hit him up and he's like, hell yeah?
Yeah. Because I talk to him all the time. I asked him one day, I was like, hey, Joe, would you be interested in doing a podcast with me? And he's like, oh, yeah, I would love to. And he says it's because of us that he's still big to this day. It's because of Ghostbuster fans. So he was excited. And, dude, he told me, I don't know if did you watch any of it at all?
I watched probably the first 20 minutes at one point, and then I think I know you said he was talking about like Bill Murray on set and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Did you hear the part about his wife?
No. So do tell me.
So he told me that during the process of recording, he didn't know that he was going to be doing like the exterior in New York and then doing the interior in California. When they went to California to do the interior, he had taken his wife with him.
Right.
And apparently, while they were down there shooting the scene, Bill Murray was trying to come on to his wife. And she told him that, hey, this Bill Murray guy is trying to come on to me. And he introduced him to her. He's like, hey, Bill, this is my wife. He's like, oh, that's your wife? And apparently she asked him for an autograph. And he said, I'll give you an autograph, but I'm going to send it to you if you guys give me your address, and I'll send you a picture.
Oh, my God.
So I can't remember what he said his wife's name was, but he put her name, and then he said on the picture after he sent it to him, your big fat can is blocking everybody's view.
Oh my God. See, like that's a good story. Bill Murray hitting on his wife, not knowing it. Excuse me, that's my wife.
Yeah. So, I mean, eventually, I just recently found out how I can get a hold of the Phoebe's stunt double.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm going to try to have her on one of the podcasts as well and see if I can get her to do one with me.
Okay.
She was just recently on the Ectoplasm podcast or whatever it's called. I just recently found out about this podcast, but apparently he's super, super, super big for doing Ghostbuster podcasts.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. There's so many. There's so many. It's hard. Like, that's why I say, like, the fact that any of us discover each other, it's impressive because there's so many people that do this stuff. So
I want to eventually try to get like Jason Reitman as well.
Ooh-wee. That'd be cool.
Jason Reitman, and then I also want to try to get what was the other one I was trying to get?
Gil Kinnan?
Yeah, that would be a good one. I want to try to get Ernie Hudson to do one. If I can. I'm sure I probably have to have a couple million before I can do that, but
to get him on there. I mean, at one point, that's the only Ghostbuster that goes to Comic Cons.
Yep.
I met him at New York Comic Con.
I haven't got to meet him yet. I want to go to Comic Con so bad, man. That's always been a big dream of mine, and be able to go to a Comic Con.
They're fun. So. They're fun. I've been to the New York one numerous times, but
yeah.
The one thing I will say, like probably trying to cosplay, I never cosplayed. I went to, and I'd always go around. It gets so crowded, but if you're going to cosplay, you almost have to like stay in certain sections in New York City. Now I know, like I've seen other Comic Cons where it just looks wide open and people move. That the Javits Center, no man, you're like a freaking sardine in some areas. So walking around with a proton pack, you'd just be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
running.
I bet.
Easy. Oh man.
I bet.
But that's why, that's why I say I would love to hook up with a group, and if we're doing like a freaking event somewhere and we're all just dressed up together, I'd be like, oh my god, that would be so cool. I try to get Kelsey to dress up. She just won't do it. She hates being in front of the camera. Because I'm like, come on, you gotta do a skit with me. Because I got a couple suits. I'm like, you could put on the freaking Spirit Halloween pack, this and that. She's like, no. I'm like, come on. At least let me try to get you the Janine outfit. Let's go. Get the pink freaking Ghostbuster jumpsuit. Ghostbuster couple. I'm
gonna be waiting on the day that she's actually in one of your videos now.
You'll always hear her talking shit in the background. On live.
I do hear her sometimes. She'll be saying something to you.
Usually she checks out when I start talking like certain nerd style things. She's just like, what? Oh no, I fell asleep. She's a big Disney person, like we go to Disney every year, so that's coming up.
Yeah.
She is a Ghostbuster. She likes Ghostbusters, so that's why she gets down with this. I mean, the fact that she has the patience to actually listen to me with my skits, like we're getting ready to shoot part 2 soon for my little haunted house adventure. And I've actually got a pretty good idea, and I think we figured out the proton stream where it'll look okay, because we don't know how to actually make the stream itself in editing. I'm able to find them somewhere. Power Director actually has one proton stream that looks like it can work, where it won't look that bad, but I have to stand certain ways. It's not easy to figure all that out. And then what I was saying to you, like when I come up with those take a second to shoot, because you've got to figure out your lighting, and then each scene has a different like aesthetic to it. So you have to figure out where you can move, where you can't move, how, like what my language is going to be throughout it. But the current one I have, I found so much stuff that ties into the way I just did the last one. And I'm super excited because I call it the Irregular multiverse, where all my characters exist.
Yeah.
So Buster Neal is on Earth 84, 1984. The first movie came out, so he's on Earth 84. Then I'll have Super Neal, Flash Neal, Bat Neal, and all that, and they're all on different Earths. At one point, I was trying to do a Crisis, but that's too grandiose for her to actually like put together. But those will exist on my channel too. They're cringe as hell, but I did Flash Neal, I did Super Neal, I did Bat Neal. Then I have an actual older Ghostbuster Neal video, and I was actually in the Spirit Halloween suit, like the lighter jumpsuit, because I have that too. And it's just, this stuff just makes me smile. It just gets my juices going. Like I feel that even after this, I'm gonna be like, should I do a Ghostbusters video? I'm like, damn, I don't know. I'm taking this off right away after. Hell no, I'll be in this for a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah,
might cost you a couple. You're already suited up.
Yeah, it's just like, damn, should I go outside and knock on some doors? Have you seen
you got ghost problem?
Ghost? Cops would be here in seconds.
If you could have dinner with a Ghostbuster, which one would you pick?
From the live action, huh?
Yeah.
Damn. Whose brain would I want to pick the most? Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah, man.
That's who I would choose.
Yeah.
Though Bill Murray is my favorite Ghostbuster, but I feel like Dan Aykroyd would be so much better to talk to, especially with what I do as a paranormal investigator. I feel like me and him would have a lot to talk about.
Dude, you talk for hours probably.
Oh, yeah.
So much stuff.
they'd be kicking us out of the restaurant.
Yes.
Because what we'll be just sitting there after we're done eating, just sit there talking.
You just feel that Dan Aykroyd really is a Ghostbuster.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You just have that feel with him.
I want to go to the one that the place that he keeps advertising. The place in Kentucky, the something asylum. Apparently, he's really investigated there.
Oh, he hasn't. Really?
Yeah, he said that it is one of the most haunted places he's ever been.
That's freaky as hell, man. See, to actually do that, that's when I'm like, okay, can this thing actually come to life? Can the proton pack please come to life? Can I wish it to life?
Right. That'd be awesome.
You want to hear something weird? Well, not weird. So when I was a kid, right? Because I used to like have all the kids in the courtyard. We'd always play like sports, this and that, but I always used to have them get into some of the fantasy stuff I did. So I actually had us all playing Ghostbusters. And I remember taking one of those little, the little dandelions or whatever, and you make a wish and all like they blow all over the place. I don't know what the hell the name of that little flower is, but I'll never forget. I wanted to be a Ghostbuster, and I wished for that. I remember waking up that night, no dream, looking in my doorway and seeing all different, like these colors that you see in the image of a Ghostbuster. No face, nothing, just the aesthetics of it. And I was like, what the hell? Wasn't scared at all as a kid either, but I was just like, wow. And now here I am, and I'm finally a Ghostbuster.
Yep, there you go.
So,
that's a hell of a story right there.
I said that to Kelsey. I go, Kelsey, you've witnessed my dream come true. I'm an actual Ghostbuster. I have everything. Things that I never thought I would have, I have. That's why I can't wait for the 2 in the box, because that's just going to complete it for me.
Yep.
And now I just want to take it to another level one day. I want to hopefully start a little charity thing, have a party business where I can go do all that stuff. The thing that happened with that birthday party was on a whim, dude. It was because of my channel. And one of my old classmates hit me up, and she's like, would you mind dressing up as a Ghostbuster for my son's 5th birthday? I'm like, no problem.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I've never done it before, but no problem. I'm like, you got it. So the fact that happened was also like a dream come true. But, I don't know how to do all this stuff yet, but everything comes in phases. You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't stop. And that's why I say consistency is everything in life.
Exactly.
Just keep going at it, man. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Here I am talking to you, a fellow Ghostbuster.
Didn't know that was going to happen, did you?
Nope. Not at all.
But, Neil, it has been a pleasure having you on here.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being on here. I do have one last question for you.
Of course, yes.
Who are you going to call?
Ghostbuster Neil. No, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters, man. Yep,
exactly. Ghostbuster Neil or Ghostbusters. Scott did that the other day. We were at our event, and I asked him on camera, I was like, who are you going to call? He said, us.
It's a good thing he didn't say He-Man.
Right. But man, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
I'll definitely have to do a part 2 with you. I know you have so many stories, and I would definitely love to hear them. So definitely have you on here again if you're interested.
Oh, you think I wouldn't be interested? Of course I am.
But
we can make it a series if you want. We could talk all different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Always down, man. Always down.
I do have one coming on here. I don't know if you know who Josh Blevins is. He does Ghostbuster cosplay. So what I'm going to do with him, we're going to talk for. His is going to be a little extended. Okay. He's going to have like an extra 20 minutes for this because I want to do like the whole Ghostbuster thing with him. But he also does a Ernest cosplay. And the thing is, he looks just like Ernest. So what he's going to do is he's going to do an outfit change, and he's going to do the Ernest stuff. He's going to do a couple Ernest skits for us.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
So I can't wait to have that one either, man. That one's going to be pretty cool to see, especially being an Ernest fan growing up, and being able to see like an person that looks spit image like him.
That's everybody's got doppelgangers. It's kind of crazy.
Oh yeah. People, it's crazy how much people look like other people too.
Yeah, right? It's wild.
You would think everybody'd have their own unique look, but no, I'm sure there's somebody out there that looks exactly like you.
It's yeah, like same facial structure, could have the same everything, and be like,
yep.
The heck?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
But it has been a pleasure, buddy. Thank you for being on here.
Of course.
And can't wait until next time.
You got it.
All right, buddy. You have a great rest of your day and have a ghost busting night.
You got it, man. Take care.
You too, buddy.
See you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So that was the Irregular Neil. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys are new or returning, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that notification bell for all upcoming videos. And I will see you right back here for the next one. Have a ghost busting day. Peace.